Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight for the first micro pitch event of 2023. Thank you to our host location, York County and the city of Williamsburg, and James City County, which make up Greater Williamsburg. We'd also like to thank the cities of Hampton, Newport News, and Poquoson. Hey, Tim, what's in store for tonight?
Hey, thanks a lot, Gary. As you mentioned, it is our first micro pitch of 2023. Tonight, we're going to find out who the first three pitchers are that will appear in our championship pitch finale that's going to take place on November 8th. So this is like I said, this is the first one. We're also going to have another micro pitch in April. We'll take the summer break. Micro pitch number 3 is going to take place in September, and then the final micro pitch will take place in October. And the format will be as follows. Each event, we have up to 10 founders that will pitch their business idea. And then the top 3 from each micro pitch event then advances to the championship pitch in November. So what you're watching tonight is the first stop of the year. When we're all done, we'll have the top 12 pitchers of Hampton Roads, all competing for those top 3 spots. But before we do that, what are the rules of the house, Gary?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. We have a couple of requests. Number 1, please refrain from using the group chat feature to make comments to everyone, especially while someone is pitching. We don't want to distract the pitcher. Number 2, if you want to use the chat feature to connect with a specific person, please go direct with the person you want to connect with, preferably not while they're pitching. And then thanks again in advance for honoring those requests. And so we're eager to get going tonight. As Tim mentioned, we have 10 pitchers. Each pitcher will have 3 minutes to pitch their business. That will be followed by 2 minutes of Q&A with the judges. The way Q&A works is that all 3 judges will ask their questions one after the other, and then the pitcher will have 2 minutes to answer the questions that are asked. So please, those of you who are pitching, be sure you have a way to take notes as the judges ask their questions. And please don't start to answer any questions until all the judges have provided their questions. So Tim, speaking of judges, who are the judges tonight?
Yeah, we have 3 judges tonight. We are very intentional in terms of who we bring on board as judges. We've seen them all before, so they are seasoned. They know what they're looking for. They know what they're talking about. First up, we have Bo Turner, and he is the man behind 757 Makerspace, both in Hampton and in Norfolk. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Bo.
Absolutely, I'm excited to be here.
And next up, we will have Marty Kazabowski. He is representing the Virginia SBDC, or the Small Business Development Center, in particular, the ICAP program. And Marty is the man when it comes to technology. So thank you for joining us, Marty.
Always a pleasure.
And rounding out the judges, we have William McFeet, and William is also joining us from the Virginia Small Business Development Center. And he too is from the ICAP program. And thank you, William, for joining us tonight. Like I said, it's really, really intentional, because a lot of times the next step is customer discovery once you validate your business idea, as you see that in our tagline. So first step to validate, then you need to go out and do some customer discovery. So having Marty and William on board, it's a nice next step. So the way that we're going to go work tonight, the first 5 pitchers are going to pitch, then we're going to take a short break. And then once we return from that break, the final 5 pitchers will pitch. Then the judges are going to go into a deliberation room, and during that time, we'll open things up for a Q&A. I'll talk about the things that you can expect throughout the rest of the year for Start Peninsula. Then the judges will come back. We'll announce the businesses that or the pitchers that advance to the final pitch event in November. So pitchers, as a reminder, I know that you're nervous, so just a friendly reminder for you all. When it's your turn to pitch, unmute yourself. Go ahead and share your screen if you have slides. And then once your pitch is done, stop sharing your screen. The judges will ask all their questions. After the last question is asked, then you will go ahead and have your 2 minutes to answer those questions. When you're done, mute your mic. I will also serve as the timer. So hopefully you all are well practiced and you don't have to worry about me cutting you off, but I say we get started, Gary. Let's do it.
Thanks, Tim. Here we go with our first picture of the evening will be Angel Adell from Esther Skin Company. Angel, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen and so it shows yours.
All right. Okay, good. Hi, my name is Angel Adell, and I am the owner of Esther Skin Co. plus Self-Care Studio. Now, you may be asking, what's the need for the Self-Care Studio? Well, I want you to meet Vivian. One day, as I was working, I got a call from a friend, and she called me with this short, panting breath. And I asked her, I said, what's going on? And she just couldn't express herself. And so eventually I was able to recognize that she was experiencing anxiety. And that anxiety was coming from her job. Even though she loved her job, she was experiencing some challenges and had no way of knowing how to deal with it. So I had already started a skincare company, but due to my experiences and others' experiences in the workplace, I decided to pivot our startup to become a company that helps you take care of yourself. We provide tools, events, and resources for one to build their own self-care toolbox. So what's the problem? Well, I'll tell you the problem. Professional millennials report burnout. They are overwhelmed, they are stressed, but they make up 1/3 of the workforce here in America. And I have found through surveys and research that self-care can be the antidote to burnout. So how do we find that? Well, through our self-care kits, guides, and toolboxes. What is in a self-care kit? Well, what we have in our first one is the Well and the Positive Self-Care Handbook is a guide. We go week by week, and for 30 days, you're able to do 5 to 10 minute activities to help you understand tips and tools. This was put together by licensed professional counselors. We also have resources that come with the kit. In addition to that, we also have self-care and wellness events that we carry on throughout the month. Now, these events are open to everybody, but we offer special resources to our self-care enthusiasts for $25 a month. They get discounts on products, classes, events, and they also get a monthly special event and gift. Now, you may ask, millennials in the workforce, that's everybody. Well, our focus is on millennials in mid to large cities, not the extremely large cities, but those that don't have as many activities to do to alleviate those stresses for the millennials in the workforce. And how will we use the funds for the $5,000? Well, we are wanting to set goal-setting bracelets that are permanent, and that's going to cost us about $3,000. So 60% is going to go to equipment and supplies for our goal-setting bracelets and our supplies for the events, 25% for marketing and sales, and we also need 10% of those funds for barcodes so that we can get these self-care kits out to everyone.
That is time.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Angel. If you've got something to catch notes with for the judges. Yes. Judges, you ready? Your questions, we're going to start with William.
So thanks, Adell. I guess although you started to narrow down your customer segment, it still was a pretty broad one. And I'd like to know a bit more about how you, who's going to be your go-to market start, and how are you going to make your product known to them?
Okay, so our customer acquisition is based on creating events through Eventbrite in different cities, as well as being able to host.
You want to wait till all the questions are asked, and then you can answer them. Yeah. So let's go to Bo next.
Sure. Wonderful presentation. I'm looking at what is the bare minimum? What's the number of kits or the number of customers that you need to make year one? And is there a cap? Like, if you grew, what is too big to grow for?
And Bo. Oh, sorry, we just did Bo. Marty, sorry.
Yeah, thanks, Angel. Nicely done. I'll start with first principles. How do you know and how do you prove that the service you offer actually produces the outcomes that you want your customers to have?
Hey, Angel, so Tim will give you 2 minutes, and whenever you start answering, then he'll count down that 2 minutes for you. Yeah, go ahead. Tim's going to start the 2 minutes when you start.
Okay, so as far as the market, we've done our research via surveys in this DMV area and as well as in Atlanta, Memphis, Tennessee, and Nashville. And through the surveys, we found that the cities that experience more millennials that are overwhelmed and stressed in the workplace are those in mid to large cities, roughly about those to about 2 million and less, because the lack of activities are not as prevalent and the access to self-care or the knowledge of self-care is not there. Self-care, we believe, is on 7 pillars. We believe they're emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, environmental, recreational, and social. So our events and our self-care kits are actually guided toward those 7 pillars. Now, what's the number of kits to make our one, or how many that we need to sell? Our kits come in 3 different forms. So our deluxe kit, which is the one that I presented in the presentation, we need to sell for just our store now. We need to sell 10 of those in order for us to break even on those costs, as well as, we get more bulk, then that number will come down. Mind you, my rent's kind of cheap right now. Now, how do we prove that our services work? Well, we have paired up with licensed professional counselors and clinicians to be able to develop these products. So we are actually working from feedback at this point. We've only been getting feedback that these are very helpful. Some people like some of the items more than others, but we tell them that they're able to build their self-care toolbox based on the resources that we have provided.
Perfect. That's time.
Okay, thanks, Angel.
Thank you.
Okay, give the judges just a second to just give me a thumbs up when you filled out your form. Marty's good. Bo's good.
Oh, sorry. I'm done.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, next up will be Tim McDaniel with ChangeGrower. Tim, are you ready?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. The pandemic was a traumatic experience for many people and significantly impacted people's mental health. The average person spends more time on their phone and computer than they do sleeping. Comparing yourself to people who seem to be doing better than you is bad for your health. Constantly checking emails, texts, and social media is linked to higher levels of stress and anxiety. Financial stress and anxiety make people feel trapped and powerless. It can lead to social isolation and feelings of shame or guilt. Self-medicating provides a temporary sense of relief and control. Over 21 million Americans suffer from addiction. Many people don't have the financial means to pay for therapy, and there's still a stigma around mental health. Loneliness and financial stress affect the prefrontal cortex, impacting emotional regulation and impulse control, leading people to make risky financial decisions such as overspending and taking on excessive debt. ChangeGrower is an app that helps people with their financial, social, and mental well-being. There will be easy to understand lessons about finances with user-friendly tools for budgeting and saving money. There will also be positive affirmations and quick access to the 988 suicide hotline. The app will offer tips to help a person feel better, like go outside and take a walk. You can also find volunteer opportunities in your area. Volunteering has many health benefits. The app will have self-care activities designed to reduce stress and calm down the central nervous system. We will interface with a third party like Psychology Today to show a current list of trained mental health professionals. The user can also donate money to their favorite charities too. Donating money to charity has many health benefits as well. We understand that people who are dealing with mental health challenges may have difficulty navigating complex financial systems or finding the resources they need. That's why we've designed our app to be user-friendly and intuitive with simple interfaces and clear instructions. My name is Tim McDaniel, and I love helping people. The target audience for this app will be millennial and working age, Gen Z, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC women in America. Our go-to market strategy will involve social media, working with influencers, and collaborating with organizations such as the YWCA. BIPOC individuals, particularly women, are more likely to experience mental health concerns such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD due to systematic oppression, discrimination, and marginalization. BIPOC women experience a higher prevalence of mental health conditions compared to white women. They also face health disparities, educational barriers, a wage gap, a lack of access to financial resources, historical trauma, and a cultural stigma related to seeking mental health support. Additionally, this app may be useful for individuals who are simply looking to improve their financial well-being and reduce stress related to money. This could include young adults who are just starting out in their careers and may be unsure of how to manage their finances, as well as individuals who are facing financial challenges. Plant new beliefs about yourself and money to grow better mental wealth with ChangeGrower.
And that's time.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Want to unshare your screen?
Sure.
And then you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Okay, grab something you can take some notes with for the questions. And we'll start with Bo.
Excellent. So based on where you're at right now, what have you guys done as far as business already? Do you have customers? Are you just getting started as earlier? And then how does this scale up from there?
Next, we'll go to Marty.
Yeah, I'm really tempted to ask the same question I just asked Angel, but I won't, but you should give that some thought. What I really want to ask in this case is there any sort of protectable intellectual property, trade secrets, things that will keep the competition from crushing you like the bug you are?
And finally, William.
Hi, I'm going to ask a question Marty asked of Adell. What data do you have that says that the processes in your app are going to have the effect that you're intending?
Okay, and whenever you start answering, Tim will give you 2 minutes.
All right, sure, go ahead. So just starting out, we don't have an app yet. We don't have any customers. I did do ICAP and I interviewed 21 people and saw a lot of themes related to overwhelm, stress, financial, mental health, particularly people of color, women, and minorities. So how we scale would really be starting small, focusing on the individual, seeing if these techniques do help their mental health, if they have any impact on their subjective well-being, on their stress and overwhelm, building it one feature at a time from the MVP, and using that data to reinvest the profits into the app and have an agile, iterative approach. IP and trade secrets, I'm not exactly sure what those would be right now, but I hope to figure that out as we build this app and make it a reality. Just going straight to organizations like the Samaritan House and NAMI and people that are really struggling, maybe offering free memberships to people in poverty or to referrals, if you refer a friend, and seeing what deals effectively with trauma, particularly childhood trauma and negative conditioning related to self-esteem and finances. Got the data that finances seems to elude people, like that it's something that's not them, a deep-seated unworthiness. So trying to change the wiring in people's brains to engage in more self-care and self-love. Yep. But that's it. Yeah.
And that's time.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Judges, I'll give you a few seconds here. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go. Marty's ready. Bo's ready. William's ready. Awesome. All right, thanks. Next up is Nicole Henderson from Unstoppable Nicole. Nicole, you ready?
I am ready.
The
Does that
floor
look
is
okay?
yours.
Gary, I'm driving slides, so does that look all right?
It's kind of small, but we can see it. Yep, it's good.
Ooh. We good?
Yeah, I think it's visible. So yeah. Go ahead, Nicole.
I want to tell you about a girl named Andrea. Andrea was in college and had her first child in her junior year of college of nursing school. Andrea had the baby in the last week of the semester, right before finals. She was able to complete that semester. Along the way, she did not stop school, but the baby grew to eat regular foods. And when Andrea went down to go get food from the system and asked for money for food, she didn't qualify because Andrea was working and going to school. So she was a mom who needed a little bit of help, but didn't qualify because she had a car. And in the system, you need to sell your car in order to not have equity. Andrea didn't know what to do. And there wasn't any other help around. Support systems came and go on, but Andrea needed a business like Unstoppable Nicole. Tim, next slide. Being overwhelmed with money problems, being food insecure, being overweight due to stress, not having enough childcare, and still trying to work and earn a living. How do I know Andrea? Because I am Andrea. I am Nicole Henderson of Unstoppable Nicole LLC. We help single mothers with their day-to-day struggles. We provide them with educational, learning how to budget, how to co-parent. We create events to bring the mothers together to help team up and help each other. We need to help them so that they can have their children thrive. Next one. We also make sure that the events are affordable. And then we also do work-life balance training programs for corporations. Next slide. So our target market are single working mothers. And they're worried about, how am I gonna get my children a healthy meal? How am I gonna get to work with childcare being so expensive? We do events by Facebook. We do private Zoom workshops and group, and we train other corporations on how to deal with this population by helping them with their work-life balance programs. Our team consists of a Dr. Rochelle Henderson Clark, and which the women can go to her for counseling.
And that is time, Nicole.
Okay, thanks, Nicole. You want to unshare your, well, Tim will unshare, I guess. And ready for some questions?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start with Marty.
Okay, nicely done. Obviously an important problem. Walk me through how the money works. How do you make money to keep this thing a sustainable enterprise?
Okay, next, William.
Marty stole my question. Yeah, nicely done, Nicole. And yes, I get it is definitely a serious problem. You mentioned Facebook, but how else are you intending to attract the customers, if I could say that, to your business?
And Bo.
Oh, great presentation. You've done a fantastic job. And I think you're right. This is a big problem. I appreciate you tackling this. My question is, with the team that you've got, what milestones have you guys achieved already? And what have you learned from those?
Okay, so Nicole, we have 2 minutes on the clock. Tim will give you those 2 minutes whenever you start talking.
Okay, so how the money works is that we have sponsors that will pay for the certain workshops and events. So we will get a free space and hold a event there for the moms to have a private time. And the moms will pay like a low cost fee for the event, or the sponsors will. Facebook apps, so we use Facebook, but then we also we'll send out flyers to certain organizations that help single moms, and so they will sign up via those kind of organizations. Team milestones. So the milestones we've created is getting the women to share the information, because a single mom knows another single mom. So we have gotten to build our community with these single moms, and we have other coaches and mentors who can help. And the people on our team, also we have a private chef, which when we do the events, we always make sure there's food, so that that's not another thing that they have to juggle. Oh, and what I've learned is that it takes a community, and I've lived it firsthand. And I've been from the projects of New York City to the boardrooms. So I know how to flow in every aspect, and I'm an Army veteran, so I deal with veterans too. So that's what I've learned, that it's needed, and we got to help with the people who know how to do it.
Awesome. That's time.
All right, thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
I'll give you just a few seconds here. Give me a thumbs up. Marty's good. Bo's good. James good. Awesome. All right, we're moving ahead. Our next pitcher will be Drew Keever from AdvisorFinder. You ready, Drew?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yep, floor is yours.
What's the $130 trillion industry that nobody talks about? The wealth management industry, and it's ripe for disruption. Why? Because of people like Tom. Tom has no idea what a financial advisor does, but he knows he should be investing his money and saving for retirement. So Tom came to AdvisorFinder, where he met Kevin. Kevin is a certified financial planner, and Kevin has advised tech employees and stock plan participants at some of the largest tech companies, such as Apple and Google. Tom saw this on Kevin's AdvisorFinder profile and decided, this is the kind of advisor I want to work with. However, Tom is not the only one. There are millions of people just like Tom who are struggling to find the right advisor and navigating their financial journey alone. In fact, 59% of people don't know where to find an advisor. We're here to fix that. We built the AdvisorFinder marketplace to make it easy to find advisors and compare your options. We vet our network of advisors by reviewing their SEC background. Each profile gives you the necessary information about an advisor, which is typically hard to find. We also make it easy to book a meeting, saving you time and hassle. There are 330,000 financial advisors in the US, serving more than 61 million clients. First, we're beginning with advisors because we know them best, but it also allows us to wedge ourselves into much larger opportunities. We will be expanding our platform to other financial professionals, such as tax accountants and estate attorneys. So how do we make money? We charge an annual subscription fee for professionals to be listed on our platform. Our paying customers are financial advisors. We're proud to work with some of the top wealth management firms, such as Wells Fargo, LPL Financial, and Raymond James. We've accomplished all of this in only 9 months without raising any outside capital. We just launched in January, and as of today, we have 141 advisors, and we're growing at 22% month over month. Our annual recurring revenue is also growing by 63% month over month on average. My name is Drew Keever, co-founder of AdvisorFinder. We help people achieve their financial goals, which begins with making it easier for them to choose an advisor. Our team has the domain and technical expertise that's necessary to be the market leader. Our CEO was an advisor with Merrill Lynch, and during his career, he saw the problem from both sides. Legacy financial institutions are not keeping up with consumer expectations, and it's really difficult to find the right advisor. AdvisorFinder is moving the wealth management industry forward.
And that's
Thank
time.
you.
Okay, thanks, Drew. You want to unshare your screen? There you go. Ready for some questions?
Yes.
Okay, and remember not to answer until they're all three get asked. So we're going to start with William.
Hi, thanks, Drew. Very nice presentation. You know, as you said, there's a ton of financial advisors around and a lot of advice available. So what's your competitive edge with your product?
And let's go to Bo.
Wonderful presentation, Drew. William just took my question that I was thinking as well. I guess following that back up was, what's the biggest challenge that you guys face moving ahead? This looks like a wonderful market. And again, great presentation.
And Marty.
That's the problem of going third. The other guys get the good options. But this is a good one. I like this one. The problem we have with two-sided markets is always customer acquisition and lifetime value of those customers. Talk about how you find those guys and keep them in the system over the long term.
Okay, so Drew, you have 2 minutes once you start talking, and Tim will tell you when you're out of time.
Sure. Thank you for those great questions. The competitive edge of our product, I would say, really stems from just how it's designed. It's designed to be an open marketplace, and we don't really match clients to advisors. That's what some of the other competitors do. And then also our business model is different in that we don't take a revenue split from the advisors. We just charge a simple subscription fee. And Bo, the question about our biggest challenge, I think it really would probably be getting more clients on the platform and figuring out the most efficient client acquisition channel, and also kind of maintaining liquidity in the marketplace as we continue growing. And Marty, I'm so sorry. I almost forgot your question. The two-sided marketplace.
Just customer acquisition. How do you find these guys and bring them in, and how long can you keep them?
Sure. So we find advisors through a variety of means. We're pretty active on FinTwit. So there's a huge community of financial advisors on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and we're also negotiating some multi-year contracts with some large wealth management firms. Thank you all for the opportunity.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew.
Okay, thanks, Drew. Just give me a thumbs up when you guys, judges, have. Marty's good, Bo's good.
Sorry, I'm behind. Okay.
Okay, William's good, thanks. All right, next we're Borden.
Give me 1 sec. All right. Can you see my screen?
We can, and you're on.
Floods are the #1 natural disaster in the United States, and cities and towns are especially vulnerable. Just an inch of rainfall can actually overwhelm existing infrastructure, resulting in property damage, transportation clogs, and even loss of life. This is a growing problem throughout the US that triggered federal and state regulations, as well as funding for green stormwater infrastructure like microbial or MB. For the unfamiliar, MB is like a concrete bathtub that captures stormwater runoff and filters it through soil and plants. The problem is that cities and towns lack available space, contend with existing utilities, and need to install high numbers to handle the stormwater volume. This means a solution must be cost-effective enough to install over a wide network and flexible enough to handle varying site conditions with minimal impact on streets and sidewalks. The solution to this is RAFT, bioretention made simple. RAFT is the physical vessel for urban MB, and its core feature is the post and panel assembly. Here, concrete panels quickly and easily slip into grooved FRP posts. Think of it like a kit of Legos, where 2 general laborers and a skid steer can assemble 30 linear feet in as little as an hour. This post and panel system is modular, meaning it can be adjusted to handle utilities, increase capacity, or work with other systems. Quick assembly, repeating parts, and site flexibility is what makes Raft cost feasible for wide adoption in urban areas. This idea was born from the frustrations that 3 designers found at their firms SGA and Landmarks. They founded InfraSGA and developed Raft thanks to the funding from Rise Resilience Innovation Startup Competition. Now, looking at the potential, annual US market for buyer attention is estimated at 5.6 billion, with a CAGR of 8.5%. Furthermore, we tested these results using a bottom-up calculation of our local market. For the month of February, we estimated 32 million in potential opportunities and an annual 6.4 billion US TAM. My name is Borden, and I joined InfraSGA as an experienced landscape architect and building products rep within Virginia. Our customer market is categorized by 3 key groups. We will target the contractors first, and then shift focus to the design teams. And finally, the developers. This will allow the fastest route for sales revenue and built projects. Those built projects in turn build trust with design teams. I've had conversations with dozens of potential customers and also surveyed these customers for group feedback. The support shows that this is a real market need. We currently have 3 pilot installations underway, and we need help from you and your networks getting more project opportunities or investor capital. I hope we can meet again to unpack this further. I'm Borden Edgerton with InfraSGA, and this is Raft, Buyer Attention Made Simple. Thank you for your time.
It's time.
Okay, thanks, Borden.
Thank you.
Unshare your screen.
Give me 1 second.
Ready for some questions?
I am now.
So you can capture them. All right, we're going to start with Bo this time.
All right, excellent. Thanks. A wonderful presentation, Borden. You guys immediately had me hooked from that opening slide. I live here. I have to deal with this situation, and I've driven right through that same flood area that you started with. So this is of high value and highly important. So thank you for everything that you do. That said, my first question is, how much have you guys grown as far as manufacturing? Have things changed, or does it look like you need to change further with the solution that you currently have to be able to solve that flooding issue?
Next, Marty.
Yeah, you've obviously been in my neighborhood here in Norfolk as well. Big problem. So the question becomes, to me at least, you go to cities, you go to contractors, how do you quantify the cost versus the benefit for what you provide?
And William.
Hi, thanks, Borden. It's again very nice. Yeah, I think what I'd like to hear was actually just a little bit more on your customer discovery and the actual interest from your potential customers, and also have you started to get any evidence of traction?
Okay, floor is yours. Tim will give you 2 minutes to answer the questions.
Starting with Bo, kind of growing into the manufacturing, and is change needed? We're currently working with third-party manufacturers, but yes, change is needed. We've been going through some original pilots. We've gotten pricing estimates, and this kind of helps with what William and Marty are both talking about too, with the cost. We have to work on cost and getting that down. There's a potential for different avenues, either investors, or if we're able to actually get revenue through continued that. We also were thinking about partnering up with others to actually have the capital from maybe construction companies, so like Ferguson or other large, maybe general contractors. That would then help lower the cost because we're gaining access to their market and their growth potential for raw materials that they're able to access. We are cheaper and more cost effective than most of the actual built structure prefab products on the market by about 20 or 30%. The real, I think, make or break is going to be looking at the actual material cost from manufacturing. And we're actually exploring that with some other prefab manufacturers, as well as contractors for more information. Customer discovery and traction. We've been using Construct Connect, which is a bid platform that contractors use. So I can actually search and find bids. That's how I find projects to go out and make sales revenue, and essentially be crossing out maybe cast in place concrete walls to find that. For cities and contractors and the kind of cost benefit, we've done an initial cost benefit analysis between cast in place concrete, prefab structure competitors and ourselves. And that's kind of where we found out that our material cost has got to get lowered. It's not impossible, I don't think at all. We just got to actually suss through that now, kind of the next steps going forward. We do have runway for the rest of the year, thankfully, thanks to this revenue-based loan through RISE Resilience Infrastructure.
That's time.
Okay, thanks, Borden.
Thank you.
Judges, give me a thumbs up. William's good. Bo's good. Marty's good. Okay, so we're at our break time. We're going to take a break until I have 6:47 right now. Come back at 6:55. That'd be great. Be sure you mute. I just did it. Mute yourself so that we don't hear what's going on in your house or your office or whatever. And we'll see you back here at 6:55. And we'll be starting with Michele. Got it.
All right, all the judges are here. Michele,
Yes.
we'll kick off with you with game on, and I will go ahead. Once you share your screen and start talking, I will start the timer for you.
Great. When my son was in high school, he would come home from lacrosse practice and take a shower, thankfully. And then I would remind him that he had about 2 hours of homework to do. 2 hours of video gaming homework, that is. And whenever I share this story, parents typically respond, "Oh my goodness, my child plays video games all the time." I lean in and say, "Isn't that wonderful? Your child is showing you their passion. So why not ground it in wellness, wrap it up in academics, and give them a pipeline into this $25 billion esports industry through experiential learning opportunities and internships?" They usually then respond, "Wow, I wish I had this when I was in school." Esports is the world of competitive video gaming. And according to the Harvard Business School, it is the largest industry nobody has heard of. It's bigger than Hollywood and the music industry combined and is second to the NFL in viewership in the US alone. By 2024, there will be more than 3 billion gamers in the world. And with over 7 billion people on the planet, the opportunity to gain market share in the ever-growing world of gaming is now. My name is Michele King, and I've been a professor at William & Mary for 24 years. In the last 3 years, I've been the director of the esports program, where I built from the ground up a thriving academic and applied esports program, preparing our students for a career in the industry. My world-renowned research, publications, and presentations began in 2006, exploring my passion for play, from board games and traditional sports to video games. I've gathered data from Brazil, Belgium, and Germany to France, Denmark, and Sweden to develop my venture, the Game On Cafe. Now, there are different types of establishments that focus on one area of gaming, with 844 board game cafes, 650 LAN or local area network cyber cafes, and thousands of sports bars in the US. But my Game On Cafe will be the first to embrace them all: board games, traditional games, and video games. The location for my Game On Cafe will be Midtown Row in Williamsburg, Virginia, because it's walking distance to the 8,700 William & Mary students, the 6 million annual tourists to Colonial Williamsburg who spend about $1 billion, and the 36% of 16 to 34-year-olds who live in the area. My Game On Cafe business proposition will be based on pay-to-play purchases and membership subscriptions, food and beverage revenue, events like tournaments, fantasy leagues, corporate team building activities, watch parties, educational engagement opportunities. Welcome to the Game On Cafe, where there's always a game on the table, a game on the television, and a game on the computer. Many may say carpe diem, seize the day. I say carpe ludum, seize the play. Game on. Thank you.
And that's time. Thank you, Michelle. We will start off the questions with Bo.
Great presentation. What do you need as far as talent or other folks on your team to be able to grow and build, or have you guys already started this? I think I missed that part.
And Marty?
Yeah, related question. How does this scale? I mean, how do you, once you've conquered Williamsburg, how do you get to the rest of the world?
And William?
Yeah, Marty did it again. Thanks, Marty. Very nice presentation, Michelle. I guess what I'm wondering here is, how do you maintain relevance as fads change and people get older and there's different, there's evolution of the technology. So how do you maintain relevance?
Awesome. And I'll start the timer when you start, Michelle.
Building out the talent on the team, like I said, I've been in the director of esports for the past 3 years. And in those 3 years, I have built relationships worldwide. I'm part of the Esports Research Network Conference, so I have those in academics. I am also the National Esports Collegiate Director of the Year, so I work with other colleges and universities. And so building out the team, there's a pool of talent out there. And so if I put the search out, I'm sure I'll be able to pull some people in as well. As far as scaling it, this is one of those things that's just global. It is global, especially with esports. So scaling it and different things that I could do within the Game On Cafe, like I said, the educational outreach too, gamifying different learning opportunities. And then as far as relevance and how do you connect with your audience, what I would do in college and in grad school is I love the golden community. I would volunteer at retirement homes, go in and play board games with them. So again, the Game On Cafe incorporates all of that, the board games, the video games, and as well as traditional sports on the television. So there's always something to play. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. And judges, when you're ready, let me know. I see Marty's good, Bo is good, and William is good. Next up on the docket, we have Marion Vanier from Cyclops FPV. If you want to go ahead and share your screen, I will start the timer once you start talking. Screen looks good.
All right. Hi. So I'm going to talk about my business, Cyclops. So it developed organically through my brother and I. Over COVID, we were bored and we got into drones, and we decided to go and engage with the community pretty hard. And we found a pretty big problem. This is a drone on fire, and this is the outcome of it. It's burnt to a crisp. And as we engage with the community, we noticed that there were 3 main problems. One, drones are technical. You need to know skills like soldering, reading wiring diagrams to even know how to fix one. There's no support, so if something does go wrong, you're on your own. And it's hit or miss in quality. You can have it where you order a part from a manufacturer, it arrives and it's dead on arrival, and you reach out to customer service, and they'll say, too bad, buy a new one. So in order to solve this, we developed a drone kit. So this has a high quality drone that is known to uses high quality components for it to be reliable. It comes with everything that you need, because some things that other manufacturers miss out on are little things like you could buy a $400 goggle to see from your drone's perspective, and it doesn't even come with the battery that you need. We include stuff like that. And we also have a strong warranty so you can feel confident in your product. The market size is over $3.3 billion. So there's room to grow. There's over 280,000 Part 107 drone operators, and that's growing about 25% year over year. So the market is growing pretty rapidly. And for our initial target audience, we're targeting the 30,000 professional drone videographers out in the US. They are the ones who needed this problem solved yesterday. The team is composed of my brother and I. We're both engineering students. I study electrical engineering. My brother studies mechanical engineering. And we have had various businesses throughout our lives. In high school, we had a successful 3D printing business. And in college, we had the #1 bestseller skateboard paint pens on Amazon. So we know how to build a business and we know how to make it profitable and successful. Right now, we are looking for exposure. We want to start selling. We're passionate about drones, and we are eager to share it with the wider world. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead and stop sharing your screen for me, please. We will kick off the questions with Marty.
All right, good. Nicely done. If I understand it correctly, you're actually going to be building and selling drones. Tell me about the intellectual property and what would keep the gajillion of other manufacturers from simply duplicating what you do.
And William?
Sort of similar. I was wondering again about signs of traction and what can you tell us about early sales and interest from the market?
And Bo?
Looking to see what have you done already to validate this to make sure that other people want this? Are you making sales already? It sort of ties in with what Marty said. If you have had customers already, what kind of feedback has that been?
Awesome. And I will start the timer when you start.
All right, to answer your questions, so our main competitive advantage is our support base and knowledge. That's really hard to replicate. That's really just really hard to replicate because no one else is really focusing on having any sort of customer support, and even having a warranty is very rare. Also, our electronics are just better. We know how to build a drone and build it well. You can't just replicate that experience anywhere. When it comes to traction, it's been, we just developed up the product, and right now we're trying to validate through actual sales. But through our customer discovery, we've interviewed over 100 different potential customers. They seemed eager to go and buy. We also have over almost 3,000 followers on Instagram. So we are able to go and talk with a large enough potential consumer base. That's where we are at the moment. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Marty's good. Bo's good. And William is good. Next up, we have Karun Tahilramani from Tusi. You can go ahead and share your screen, Karun.
All right, just give me 1 minute, please.
And I'll start when you start.
Move my zoom a little bit. All right, this is an elderly person staring at a family picture, but he can't remember who was in the picture. This is what dementia can look like. But dementia is more than just memory loss. It can be a very debilitating condition. In fact, right now, it's one of the leading causes of mortality in the US. By 2050, it's expected to impact over 10 million people with a staggering 1 trillion financial impact, and that's just unsustainable. The underlying problem is that many primary care physicians aren't trained to perform dementia testing, and trained specialists are in very short supply. This results in up to a 2-year wait for patients to be tested for dementia. We at Tusi are trying to address this by giving more medical practitioners the tools they need to test for dementia timely, thereby reducing wait times significantly and allowing for early intervention and improved outcomes across dementia patients. We're doing this using our patent-pending invention, the Adell. What's the Adell? It's a set of smart cubes, kind of like your smartphones, with haptic interactive touch screens. They're reconfigurable, they're scalable, multi-sensory, they're app-driven, and they provide performance-related feedback and useful analytics to practitioners so they can make good diagnoses. The ESL will allow physicians to administer a variety of dementia tests on one single platform. These tests can be customized to patients' needs and physicians' preferences in ways that existing paper-based tests cannot. Additionally, the ESL also allows for testing a person's visual and spatial awareness, which existing app-only solutions simply can't. Let's look at the market size. Our total addressable market for dementia diagnostics globally is $4.3 billion, and that includes everyone aged 65 and above. That's about 800 million people. But our serviceable obtainable market is limited to the US only. That's valued at about 1.8 billion. We're expecting to gain about 1% market share over a 10-year time frame, which is just about 600,000 people. And those are conservative estimates. But this is just the tip of the iceberg for Tusi, because we've already identified additional applications for the ESL that go beyond dementia diagnostics. The core behind our success is our team. It's our competitive advantage. We collectively bring experiences in entrepreneurship, startups, technology, medicine, research, and finance, all vital to our success. I'm Karun Tahilramani, CEO and co-founder of Tusi. We address society's cognitive challenges.
And that's time.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Go ahead and stop sharing your screen. And William, this is your wheelhouse, and you get to ask the first question, so you can steal the questions away from Marty and Bo.
I'm only allowed one question. You're tackling a huge need, so congratulations on that, and a nice presentation too. You're looking at diagnosis of dementia and perhaps even an earlier diagnosis, but really fundamental to this is to show that your diagnosis is correct. And I'd like to know what you have done in the way of studies to show that. And would you agree you need to do an FDA trial to be as part of your product development?
And Bo.
My question was around that product development as well. Is this just an idea at this stage? Have you taken it through? And to piggyback what William was just saying, up to FDA approval, or is that going to be required for this in this particular application?
And Marty.
Yeah, I would like to ask about 12 questions too, like William. The one I will ask though is walk me through kind of the use case. I mean, you have these devices. Do you send them out to the home? They mess with the stuff. The doctor gets the data. There's a baseline. Walk me through that use case a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty. And I'll start when you start, Karun.
Can I share my screen again?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it'll help answer some of the questions over here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to start sort of backward with Marty's question. I can get my apps together over here and get out of this. So Marty, to your point about the how we expect to use the I'm just going to answer them. So with respect to using the ESL, what we're going to do is our plan is to basically provide this to primary care physicians, a set of good ESL cubes to primary care physicians at no charge, and earn a fee from them per test. So they conduct a certain dementia screening test that they're comfortable with, and we'll simply get a revenue based on how many tests they conduct in a given time period. Tusi will maintain ownership of the tests, of the ESL pieces, and we will service them for the duration of the time the physicians have these ESL cubes with them. So it's not an inconvenience to them to be able to use these. And of course, we'll provide all the training that comes along with it. Now over to, this is sort of at the idea phase. We've developed a prototype. We've applied for patents on this, and we are in the process. One of our near-term priorities is to start showcasing our prototype to primary care physicians to get their feedback on, you know, what they think about it. Is this usable from their perspective? Is it something that they'd like to be able to use to diagnose patients for dementia? We fully expect to have to go through an FDA approval process for this, and that's going to be a significant challenge for us. But we know that there is a need in the market for speeding up testing, and we know there are tests out there that are proven to work. It's just a matter of putting those tests on our Adell platform and doing some clinical trials to show that Adell is just equally effective as the paper-based version of those tests.
And that is time. Awesome. Thank you, Karun. If you could unshare your screen, we will move on to Bretton Key from My Date Jar.
Okay, can you hear me?
Sure can.
All right, right now I'm just seeing if my screen share is going to work and cooperate with me. Okay, is my screen up?
It's there it goes. I'll start when you start.
All right. Hey, Start Peninsula, thanks for having me. I'm going to talk a little bit about my startup and how we are looking to bring back the art of dating. My startup is called Date Jar. So why now, and what are we trying to achieve? Believe it or not, the divorce rate is the lowest it has been in 20 years. And there are a lot of reasons why, but really in this post-pandemic era, the catalyst is that people's views on marriage, relationships, and especially even having a healthy relationship has changed drastically. So our mission is to help improve interpersonal relationships through the power of dating and mobile technology. Research shows that dating is a necessary element of a happy love life, and we believe as well that dating should be exciting and endless. So through this, there is a problem. And even before the pandemic, this problem has been heightened, which is, what do you do in your free time with those you love? Making those plans can be a pain. I mean, have you ever had those questions of what do you want to do for dinner, or where do you want to go? And how that shouldn't be an issue, but turns into a huge problem. It's a problem to a point where you may spend more time looking up what to do versus actually being out having fun on those plans. And it shouldn't be that way. The solution is Date Jar. It is a service via an interactive app that delivers high quality date plans, all from your smartphone in just a few clicks. Virtually in seconds, you can get your ideas and as well your plans from end to end. And this solution is not like the dating apps like Match, Tinder, Bumble. We're not here to match make. And I want you to think of our solution as the Instacart of dating. And as well, this is available currently right now on the Google Play and as well the Apple App Store. So who are we after? Our target consumers. This is a very large industry that's not going anywhere. In the US alone, it's $3.8 billion. And as well, this contains 324 million users. To put this in more perspective, our best adopters and early adopters are married millennials, and as well Gen Zers who are using matchmaking apps. Now, our path to revenue is multi-sided. From our end users, we have a $3.99 monthly subscription fee, or with a slight cost savings that could be $40 yearly. And what that subscription gets you is the ability to broker and lock in your date plans. And this goes well beyond something like restaurant reservation or movie tickets. We're referring to full experiences. And as well, we have a revenue stream for platform partners. And these are people who are in the app that are actually brokering and making those experiences happen. The development of the app and service has also given some additional ways to generate revenue. And as well, we also have plans for delivering tangible products as well.
That is time.
I apologize. Tim, I thought you were telling me it was time and I could hear you mouthing, so I didn't know if I
Yeah,
was.
I had myself muted, so
Okay.
it is time. If you could unshare your screen, we will start the first question with Bo.
Excellent. Thanks, Tim. So you mentioned platform partners. Can you discuss any notable partnerships or collaborations that you're looking at or are working at already, and how that might impact more?
And Marty?
Yeah, full disclosure, Brett and I have talked about this a little bit over the years. So Bretton, good to see you. Tell me a little bit more about customer acquisition cost and sort of lifetime value of your customers.
And William?
Yeah, nice presentation, Bretton. I guess you said it's available on Google Play already, and so I was just wondering again, my question about signs of traction. So the kind of ratio of paying customers, if you like, to just straight downloads. But I think it's a very nice idea. So congratulations.
I apologize. I didn't quite hear that third question.
Oh, the very last thing was more congratulations. That was not the question.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure I wasn't hearing things. That's all.
Right.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'll start when you start, Bretton.
I'm ready. So as far as for platform partners, the focus is aligning ourselves with people in the tourism and attractions industry. Currently, we have a small partnership with iFly here in Virginia Beach as one of our platform partners, and we're looking to gain more. And then for your question, Marty, for the customer acquisition costs and the lifetime value, right now we're still looking into how much it actually costs for those acquiring customers. The reason being is because in the next 30 days, we are looking to release our 2.0 version of our app, and that's actually where the value prop and where these different services really align and come alive. The lifetime value is that we are looking to sustain users for years to come. And the reason being is because we are looking to make sure that we have endless dates. And part of our competitive advantage is the fact that we geofence and crowdsource our different experiences. So we have a very focused approach. And with that, that also allows us to align to the right markets and expand in the right markets at the right time. Hope that answers your questions. And thank you again for those questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Bretton.
Thank you.
Marty is good. William is good. Bo is good. And that means we are on to the final pitcher of the evening. We have Ian Holloman from KeepUp. Ian, you can go ahead and share your screen. I will start the timer when you start talking.
All right, let's get started.
Awesome.
Keeping in touch with your clients and your professional network is hard, especially when balancing your career and the day-to-day happenings of life. And the difficulties we experience within this process, what I intend to solve. According to a study of 12,000 business professionals, we spend 6.5 hours per week doing some form of networking. According to a recent Forbes study, workers in the US are spending 20 hours per week using various digital communication tools. And I think we would all agree, absence of these statistics, relationships are pivotal to your success in business, no matter your industry. So you should manage and nurture them as such. So my solution is called KeepUp. Now let's imagine you're a young financial advisor and you're trying to get your first clients, and you go to a networking event at the James River Country Club and you meet 4 prospective people you think could be clients in the future, or you just want to network with them and keep a more personal tab on them. You log into your KeepUp account as shown on the screen and click Add New Contact. Then you'd fill out this short form, making note of their name, email, other important information you would want to know about them and remember for future interactions. And here's where they'd be stored on a dashboard where you can view all of your contacts at one glance. Here's what the view looks like for individual contacts with a note section at the bottom to keep track of interactions. It's just not in view on this image. And here's what the calendar looks like to track all your important birthdays, anniversaries, reach out reminders, and various special occasions, all the important dates that we at times forget, but no, we shouldn't. And here is where you can have AI generate you a personalized email and request automation for that email as such if it's something you desire. Here's our team. My name's Ian Holloman. I go to Christopher Newport University, and I've previously interned at the accounting firm PB Mayers. Dr. Donaldson is an 8-time CEO of public and private companies, and he's currently a CNU professor. And Rohan Kabir is the developer I have currently building my MVP. And I'm in constant communication with him every day, testing out new APIs, integrations, and making sure product development is running smoothly. Now, my ideal customer profile is sales professionals, financial advisors, bankers, and CPAs under the age of 30. And this is based on the demographics of people I conducted customer discovery interviews with before pursuing product development. And here I have my total available market calculations. Each of these estimations you see that are in the millions are based on the total number of potential customers times 10 and then times 12 to get a bottom-up estimate at a $10 per month price point. My initial focus, though, would be my serviceable attainable market of 23 million, which is based on the total number of financial advisors, sales reps, and CPAs in the US under the age of 30. And what I'm looking for is investment in mentorship. With investment, my primary use for the funds would be testing out various marketing channels to see what could fuel customer acquisition the most after we launch on April 10th. And mentorship would just be extremely helpful on all fronts of business, especially in the way of marketing and product development. Now I'm done, and thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ian. And Marty, you're first up.
Cool. Yeah. So thanks. Nice presentation. It's always good to see Dr. Donaldson. I knew him when he was just Willie. I can tell him I said that. I said I guess the real question is, with all the CRMs and LinkedIn's and Outlooks and a blizzard of these, why doesn't this already exist?
Awesome. William.
Sort of similar to Marty's question there, but to be honest, I'm wondering what is the value of your product to the recipient of these emails? And maybe related to that, if I might add, is what was the biggest insight you had from your customer discovery?
And Bo.
Gosh, wonderful presentation. I think this is definitely something that's needed, and it's really interesting that I haven't seen anything out there just for that yet. Kind of going between both the other questions. How do you create value for those customers, and what metrics are you using to track that value?
Awesome. Ian, I will start the timer when you start talking.
All right. So Marty, to answer your question as to why this doesn't exist, there are some tools that are similar, but what I believe, and this hits a little bit on your question too, Bo, I think where we strive is feature centralization. There's a lot of tools out there that have these separate features. There's various AI tools that have AI generated copy tools like copy.ai. You can use ChatGPT, which is free. There's Calendly, but there's just not too many tools that integrate them all in a way that can help business professionals keep in touch with their clients in a more seamless way. So I'm honestly not quite sure why it doesn't exist. I wasn't able to find many CRM tools with a calendar integration or these other features. Mr. McFeet, with regard to, it's not really meant to provide value to the people that are receiving the emails. That's just a feature for the professionals that want to use that and use a degree of automation when communicating with their clients with regard to email. I think the main way it's going to provide value, not to repeat too much of my earlier statement, but is feature centralization, keeping track of all those important dates, remembering all that important information, and being able to communicate via email all within one platform so you don't have to interface across too many. But our platform also does onboard clients from CRMs like Salesforce, HubSpot, and Pipedrive, just to make note of that. And Mr. Turner, how do we create value? With regard to that and the tail end of your question, what's our message? I would say our message is building a platform that helps business professionals build better relationships. A lot of the simplicity that's going to be in our MVP is really to get at the core of a lot of the problems we face, not remembering to reach out, forgetting to reach out for special occasions, maybe not remembering important information about people. And I think we create value through that feature centralization of having it all under one platform.
Awesome. That is time. Well done. All right, everyone, that concludes the pitches for this evening. Judges, look in your direct messages. There should be a message from Andrew giving you the Zoom link. So you'll leave this meeting, this webinar, go to that Zoom link. That will be your deliberation room. Once you have determined your top 3 for the evening, then you'll come back to this webinar, and then we will make the big announcement. So you guys can head over to your deliberation room, please. And everyone else, we can take a quick break. We can talk. You can ask me some questions. I'll go over some things in terms of what's ahead and what to look forward to. That's up to you. But you all did a really well job. You should be super proud of yourself. Congratulations. It takes a lot of guts to get up in front of the camera, share your special project to everyone. So well done on a great job. All right, don't see anything chat. So what is coming up? This was this was like the first time ever we continue to gain momentum year after year after year. So we were sold out of pitcher slots the night that we had Pitch Perfect. I tell everyone event after event, make sure that you register to pitch, because we're going to sell out. And so we did it earlier than ever this year. We're going to sell out again for our next micro pitch event that is going to be in April. So for those that are pitching or those that are listening and watching, our next micro pitch event is going to be April 19th. And in preparation for that, our next Pitch Perfect event is going to be April 5th. And the way that we have set everything up this year, or actually we started last year, it worked out so well that we're going to do it this year. If you attend Pitch Perfect on April 5th, and then you secure your right to pitch, it's not a pitch ticket to you don't pay to pitch per se, but you are secure your position to pitch. So when you do Pitch Perfect and then you compete on the micro pitch, then you will be refunded that cost of the pitch ticket. Because we sell out every pitch event, we want to make sure that we always have those 10 full slots for people to participate in. So that's the way this is not a pay to, no offense, Michelle, this is not a pay to play event. We want to make sure that just all the slots are filled. So so from that regard, that's how we structure everything. So April 5th is Pitch Perfect 2. April 19th is micro pitch number 2. And at 8 o'clock, so in 29 minutes, Eventbrite, for those people that are approved to pitch, or those that did not make it in the top 3 tonight, at 8 o'clock, pitch tickets become available on Eventbrite. And those it'll be live until they're not. So act fast, secure your spot. But then the fall, August 30th, will be Pitch Perfect number 3 in preparation for micro pitch number 3, which is September 13th. And then Pitch Perfect number 4 is September 27th. And that is in preparation for micro pitch number 4, which is October 11th. So we always do the Pitch Perfects 2 weeks before the micro pitch event. So that way we have time to go over the information and help people as best as we can in preparation, so they can learn the material, watch the material, ask any questions, and Gary and I make ourselves available for any feedback for those that are looking for the feedback to improve their pitch. I did see a couple questions come in. Yes, attendees, yes, you can ask questions as well. So in terms of the prizes for this year, so as we mentioned in the opening, we'll have the top 12 be represented in November. Then in November, the top 12 will compete. The top 3 of that they each receive $5,000 in seed funding, and places 4 through 12 each receive $500 in seed funding. There's no equity taken. This is just obviously $5,000 is not going to be what it takes to have a successful journey. This is to give you a little bit of funding along the way to keep you going as you start your journey. So after tonight, for those that advance, the work then begins. The pitches in November will still be 3 minutes with a 2-minute question and answer period. The rubric will be a little bit different because we're going to want to see what kind of progress you made between now and November. So keep that in mind. That's why I think that it's a good idea to pitch first, pitch early. And any questions from the pitchers?
I've got one question.
Yeah.
With if anyone gets to go forward, I guess through to the November pitch, is there like a workshop that's just for that as well?
Yeah, we will have we do have a private pitch perfect for the finalists that we will do just for those 12 finalists. Yes, we will. And everything is on our website, starpeninsula.com. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out, but everything is on. All the dates there. Andrew put them in chat, but all the dates that are also on starpeninsula.com as well.
Yeah, the workshop was really good, but it definitely, I don't know if anyone else felt the same way, but like trying to condense 10 pounds of stuff into a 5-pound sack was whew, took a lot of time to actually get it there.
It is a law of diminishing returns. So however much time that we give people, it's never going to be enough time. Everyone will be able to fill it. So I just heard 4 people pitch this morning, and those were 2-minute pitches. So and when we first started, they were 90 seconds. So we've increased it. 3 minutes is pretty standard. And you can pack a lot of information. The idea isn't to sell your entire business in 3 minutes. And that's one of the things that we talked about in Pitch Perfect. It is what you're doing here is that movie trailer so that you can get that second meeting. And that second meeting in this case is the opportunity to pitch in November. So that's the idea. And that's the same thing in terms of, for those that are wondering, when it comes to the Q&A aspect, that's why we time the Q&A, because otherwise some people will just answer and go on and on and on and on and on and on. And quite honestly, we've had people talk themselves in to a final 3 spot. We've had people talk themselves out of a final 3 spot. So we want to train you all to be very concise, be very direct with your answers, and just volleying back and forth. Get the question, you answer, you get the question, you answer, you get the question and answer. And the sooner you can do that, the better off you're going to be. And honestly, that's where a lot of the passion comes out that the founders have for the problem that they're trying to solve. So why is it so far away in this November? That was a question that was asked. This Start Peninsula is it's meant to be a year-round program. We used to do everything over 1 year, or we used to do everything on 1 weekend. That would happen once a year. And what we found when we did that was it was great for that weekend, but then on Monday morning, people didn't necessarily know what to do. They're like, okay, my business idea is validated. Then what? So the whole idea is we wanted to extend Start Peninsula to be a year-round set of activities. So that's why we have multiple pitch perfects. We have multiple micro pitch competitions. So if you have a bad night, when we were doing it once a year, you just had an off night, things just didn't happen for you, then you would have to wait until next November. And so the whole idea is, yeah, we wanted to give people multiple opportunities if they had that off night, but it encourages you to continue to work year round towards your business. So the advantage, if you pitch in March, you get through, you're going to have to continue to work on your business in November, because then come November, when you go to pitch, it would not land well with the judges that if you delivered the exact same pitch and you said you haven't worked on your business, it doesn't necessarily show that you're really serious about your business. So there's multiple reasons why we do it the way we do it. We could not do it if it wasn't for the support of the Peninsula localities. So York County, James City County, the City of Williamsburg, City of Hampton, Newport News, and Poquoson, they all contribute. They're the ones that fund this program. So it's Start Peninsula in the sense of it's the Peninsula localities to provide the funding for this for the program. And as long as you're part of the region, the 757 region, then you're able to participate. But really, we can't thank the Peninsula localities enough for doing this program. This is year 11 that we're doing this. And it just shows that they care about startups, the early stage small businesses, and we've seen a lot of great successes. We've had people on Shark Tank. We've had many people move on to different accelerators. We've had we keep a running tally in terms of companies that have gone on to raise seed or raise capital, and we've exceeded $25 million in capital raised from the different companies that have participated in Start Peninsula. So it's really awesome to see what we've been able to accomplish through Start Peninsula, and I'm just really thankful that I've been able to be part of it from the very beginning, when this was just an idea, and we just continue to refine and move forward, taking your feedback. We listen to you all as well, to continue to try to change things, add things, try new things, and it's worked really well. In terms of prizes, in addition to the $5,000, we are always looking to add prizes. Gather, we just received an email from Gather. Gather is interested in providing winners with some space. So that's cool. The chambers typically step up and they will offer a membership. So those will continue to be finalized as well as the year goes on. But as we add those prizes, that will be updated on the website. For all the people that have pitched, some of you have been on the Fervent Four show. That's a weekly podcast that I do. But you're all invited to participate on the Fervent Four show. It's a platform for you all. We do it every Thursday from 11 to 12. And the way to get scheduled for that is to go to startwheel.org and hit the Fervent Four show up in the menu, and then just fill out the form to get yourself scheduled. And we're booked several weeks, several months in advance. So I think that we're next available dates are May. So if you're interested in doing something like that, act sooner versus later, because the time frame continues to move out further and further. Hampton has a program called Reactor. That's a technology innovation center. I'm sure we'll work out some access into that program as well for the technical companies. They did you get it, Borden?
What are you swatting at?
So look for some information to come out about Reactor. That is a space that is dedicated to technology-based companies, putting together a lot of cool things for that as well.
Can Can you can I ask about what the kind of content is in the podcast? Are you covering like one person's business, or is it kind of a theme that you have for each episode?
Yeah, it's really it's a platform for you, the founder, to tell your story. So it's great in the sense of, yeah, we talk about what problem are you solving? What did you, what are you pick? So on the forum, it's like, what 3 things is the audience going to learn? And then you share with whether lessons learned, what you're doing, what the product does, what the service does. But this is a platform for the founders to tell their story. The naming behind it is the Fervent 4. So only 4% of businesses reach $1 million in annual revenue. And so that platform, we want founders to tell the things that they've learned. We want to celebrate quote unquote failure. We want to be able to teach everyone, as long as you're failing forward, you haven't failed. So that's an aspect that we're trying to change culturally in this area. I just think that memories are too long, and people tend to used to look at you funny if you made a misstep. And I think that should be something that's celebrated. I would much rather, in terms of like investment, I think that backing a founder this is their second or third venture, they've learned a lot along the way. So it's a pretty light conversation that we have. And then what we do, Andrew, who's working everything behind the scenes here tonight, Andrew's the producer of the show. We chop everything up into YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and then we broadcast that out across the different social platforms. But I mean, we routinely have a reach. We're touching 30,000 people month to month. So it's and we give you access to the files as well. So it's the great thing is it lives, as everyone knows, it lives on the internet forever. And it's a great way to be discovered, tell your story, with it being a long form conversation. The people that are interested in you, whether if it's customers, potential investors, people that may want to work for your company, whatever the case is, they could refer to that. And for the most part, it's probably one of the first podcasts or any media that any of the founders will have. So it's pretty cool from that standpoint. But we've had some really great guests as well, ranging from a few different professional athletes to for episode 100, we had Jason Calacanis, who's besties with Elon Musk, and third person to invest in Uber, Robinhood Com. He was here for Start Peninsula a few years ago. He flew here from from San Francisco to Newport News, and he was there. And I think we had six companies pitched to him live and in person, and he gave feedback in front of the audience. So it was pretty special.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Tim, quick question. So just curious, what is the thought process behind the general timing of the pitch perfect and the micro pitches from 6 to 8 p.m.? Is that the time that generally works best for the judges, for all the participants? I'm just curious.
Typically we know that we're not going to be able to make everybody happy, and we understand that not everyone is going to attend. So that's why we always give we give the recording out for folks that can watch it afterwards. But typically that just seems to work best. We do try to rotate sometimes between different days of the week, but it's just really, really tough because we're not going to be able to make everybody happy. And we just try to do the best we can.
I missed the days when we did this live and in person.
Yeah, that was it definitely is a lot easier on Zoom, especially when it comes to tunnel traffic and everything.
But it was a better party when it was live.
It was definitely we did have some good times for sure. Especially like when we bring back people like Busky Cider to provide cider for everyone and all that good stuff. I see the judges are back. There was a couple questions that I want to make sure I had a chance to answer. So the judges, we'll have them all on the site. They may or may not be the same judges from one event to the next. That all depends on judges' availability. We will see Marty again. We will see William again. But it just all depends on judges' availability during the different the dates that we have. Awesome. So we have the results. Before the big reveal, Marty, you're still on screen. Do you want to be the first judge? You want to provide some feedback to everybody?
Yeah, happy to. First off, as you can probably guess, I've been involved in this thing since it started back in, when some of you were still in high school. But this is a good group. I mean, this is one of the best bunches that we've seen. It was a little more of a struggle than usual. It's always a struggle, but a little more than usual this time to come down to the final three. So all of you should be proud to have made the cut. And irrespective of whether you make the final three or not, I hope you continue to pursue your dreams. And by all means, I'm easy to find. Aren't a lot of Marty Kazabowskis on the planet. Reach out to me, and I'd be happy to spend some time chatting about what I heard and the results that we see here today. So congratulations, good stuff. Let me know if I can do to help.
Awesome. William, do you have anything that you would like to pass on, or any words of advice?
I would just, well, first of all, like to thank everyone, of course, for all the efforts and for the standing up and making the presentations. I guess from my perspective, I do see the customer discovery process as really fundamentally important, and just to make some of the steps in that clear to everyone, and that it's an ongoing process, of course. Just to make that clear in your presentations, but really congratulations, lots of really great ideas.
And Bo, anything you would like to share?
Absolutely. So this was a wonderful group, and I've sat in the exact same position that you're in right now, pitching an idea. In fact, the business that I'm in right now, 757 Makerspace, came about literally a conversation that Tim had first heard a few minutes before I go on stage to be able to share this and pitch this as an idea many, many years ago. So if it doesn't happen today and it doesn't finish or get you to the finish line where you expect it to be, keep pushing, you'll get there. I never hit first place. I never hit second place or third place in that. And we're still here growing as a business. So it takes a wonderful community of people, and everybody from the judges to your peers that are on this call, really help to build each other up and grow this as a community. So congratulations to everyone.
For the record, Bo pitched his idea to me back in the olden days, and I was a little skeptical, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Things
take time, man. Things take time.
It is funny in the sense of how that came about. And we were in a van, right? Traveling up to Northern Virginia. And it was one of everybody pitched an impromptu idea, and that was Bo's idea on our way to Northern Virginia. So it's really cool to see how things kind of work themselves out. So last thing, really quick, there was a question. If you did not make it through, yes, you can apply to pitch at an upcoming micro pitch competition. We encourage you to do that because it's practice, it's getting out there, it's learning. It's just like we were talking about, it's failing forward. So take the feedback that you just heard, implement that, and yeah, it's continuing to refine and pitch again. So pitch tickets will go be available in 8 minutes. Let's get on to the three winners, the three finalists that will advance in no particular order. First up, we have, oh gosh, where do I want to start? All right, Borden Edgerton from InfraSGA. Congratulations.
I'd like to thank the Academy And my mom and dad, thank you. This is wonderful. This really is.
The second one. It is game on, Michele King. Congratulations, Michele. And the final finalist to advance tonight is Drew Keever from AdvisorFinder. Congratulations to you all. Let's, before I forget, we're going to do a nice picture. We will Photoshop Gary in. So if you can look at the camera with your nicest smile, and perfect. Awesome. Well, that wraps everything up. If there's any questions that anybody has, let me know. Pitch tickets will be available in 6 minutes. We will sell out. Act quickly. Look for the emails about Pitch Perfect to all the localities: York County, James City County, City, Williamsburg, Hampton, Newport News, Pocosin. We could not do this without you. Judges, thank you so much for your time, for your feedback. Dan, you're part of the city of Hampton, but all the work that you do to help out to make this thing possible. Thank you so much. Andrew, working behind the scenes. Gary, thank you so much for everything that you do. This is really, I love doing this, and I look forward to seeing everybody in a couple of weeks at Pitch Perfect, and then again for micro pitch number 2 on April 19th. You all have a great night. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.